Yeah. Okay, and then closer and further, and focus should be there. Okay. So what we've done is use this brush to draw out the outline, and I've washed in. I'm just going to explain from scratch. I've washed in the dark, so I'll use this as a wash now. I'm washing in my darks with a brush, and the technique that I'm going to be using is a palette knife technique. So here we got two different knives. We've got a nice long distance here. We've got a short distance there. The principle with the palette knife is the same as with a brush. You use big brush, big area, small brush, small area. Big knife, big area, small knife, small area. So I've got my darks here. Now I'm going to start mixing my darkest color for what I want to put on here. And because I'm working in acrylic, I'm working from dark to light. So I'm adding a layer of paint over it. And you can see now I'm working with quite long strokes, but very, very soft. Turning the paper around, working towards the direction of the apple. Can you see that there where my light's shining through? It already looks nice. Eh? So now I'm going to put a lighter color on top. But now this is wet. So I need to be cautious that if I press too hard, it's going to remove the paint. So think of a baby's bum. Like, you have to be super, super delicate when you touch the paint. Also, the other thing is, a lot of people make the mistake of holding the palette knife like that. Don't hold it like that. Hold it as far back as you can between all your fingers with a very light wrist. That's the trick. The softer your wrist is, the softer the paint's going to be on you. So now I'm going to go for my light. I've got dark, and I'm going to go for my light. The light that I see there, it's got a lot of yellow in it, so I'm going to go for a yellow with some white. And you can see I've laid out my palette, can you see here, quite neatly. I've put my cool and warm primaries together, my cool and warm reds, my cool and warm blues. My white is separate, and I'm mixing in the middle, and my secondaries will go in between. So now I'm going to put some yellow in, and just remember, this is like getting dressed. Now it's not what it's going to look like later. This is not the final color. I might change this color totally. So I'm looking over there, I can see there's light over here, but now here is where the trick comes in. I need to be really delicate with how I put it down. So there's some darker orange yellow. You guys remember when we drew the negative observation, I made you draw a tonal value chart from 1 to 10, 1 being the lightest, 10 being the darkest. Now basically it's the same here. This is your 1s, this is sort of your 5s, and this is from your 5 upwards to your 10. So light to dark. So you have to think the same way. So that light over here, what I see there, is not the same as the light I see here. That's a darker light. So I need to change it. So now I'm going to put some in there. There's a light sitting there. And while I'm at it, I'm still going to put the leftovers here on the side. Nice long stroke so that it's not the same as what's on the apple. Now I'm going to add my midtones. So it's got a lovely bright red. So I'm going to make an orange. And I've almost now learned how to make nice oranges. So this is my dark orange I'm making here, and I'm going to add this now. But now we're working basically wet and wet, and this is where colors get muddy very easily. Very softly I'm putting the paint over what I've already got here. Can you see it's starting to do, you can almost see the different layers on top of each other, but it doesn't. If I press too hard, it smears. Can you see that? So if it's smearing, then you know, what's a better word for smearing? If it's if it mixes, if the paint mixes on the, look how much paint I've used already, I've hardly started painting. If the paint mixes on the